What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the drone show. I got another one for you today. I'm going to show you, I've mentioned it a couple times when I talked about that Hatsu Kokoro knife in that other video. It's my Tojiro, the ITK line, which is their Kurouchi finish. I don't know how you say it for sure, but you'll know it when I show it to you. Kurouchi finish. And it's a Kiritsuke. I believe it's 240 millimeters, 9 inches, whatever. I'm going to switch over to the GoPro, show you guys here. So this is the beauty. And as you can see, it's a pretty good looking knife. There's no fancy, super crazy bells and whistles. It's just a plain handle. I think that's a buffalo horn ferrule though, because it is not plastic. I can promise you that. I believe that I read that it was buffalo horn. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful knife. I use it. I don't use it as much as some, but it's one of my favorites. And in that Hatsu Kokoro video, the Bunka, that I paid $89 for, I mentioned that I have several Tojiros that are less than the price of that Hatsu Kokoro knife, and this is one. I paid $83 shipped for this knife. It's Shirogami number 2, where the Hatsu Kokoro is Aogami 2, so you got blue versus white, but honestly I kind of prefer white steel a little bit more than blue sometimes. I like Aogami Super quite a bit, don't get me wrong, but I really like the edge that white number 2 takes. Sorry, I had to cut that. Wife came down. Anyway, I'm going to sharpen this on an Arashiyama 1000 grit and a Rockstar, Shapton Rockstar 2000, and finish her off on the Shapton Kurouchi 5000. And it's not always the progressions that you would normally use. A lot of times I save that 5000 for razors. I mean, I use it for knives too, but I like to use it for razors quite a bit. It does a great job. This Arashiyama here is a splash and go stone, but I just kind of soaked it a little bit. I find that it does really well with like a 1-minute soak or so. It isn't going to hurt it. I mean, you don't want to soak it for like 20 minutes or something. But yeah, it's not going to hurt it to drop it in there for like, a minute or two. It seems to change its characteristics just a slight little bit. It's also probably all in my head, if I'm completely honest. But yeah, this knife, I tell you, this was one of my first knives as far as a real Japanese knife goes, and I just love this thing. Don't know what the angle degrees of sharpness the bevel's on, like what degrees per side is. Sorry, couldn't think of the word. But it is a fairly low one. I'm going to guess 12, 13. Definitely not more than 15. I'm barely having to lift it off the stone here. Like if I check for the angle here, I give her a little droppage, like a little slip. Yeah, so I mean that's she's a fairly low angle. Figured I'd go ahead and give this guy a sharpen. It's close to the Christmas season. It's currently Monday, so we got Christmas in 2 days. Man, that's just crazy to even say. 2 days to Christmas. What do you guys got planned for your Christmas day? I myself am going to my in-laws. I'm going to have my parents over tomorrow and do some things with some other family members, but then I'm going to, man, what is that gouge? That's there from last time I used it. I need to get that out of there. But then my in-laws on Christmas Day, because we go to another town for that. I love the stone, the way it feels. It's super hard. Super, super hard. It actually beats out my Shapton Pro, the Kurouchi, in terms of hardness. Still don't have a burr. You know, I might give that a quick little lap just to get rid of that. I didn't realize I did that last time. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate, but that's fine. That's fine. Man, the way that sounds. Something about these Kiritsukes, I've always loved the way they looked, because partly they remind me of, you know, swords, right? As far as their shape goes, that K-tip. Yeah, we're getting a good burr there now. Yeah, just swords, you know. That was one of the first things. Like I said, this was my first real Japanese knife. And just everything about this attracted me to it, from the tip to the finish, and just everything about it. And of course, I didn't know about the other, you know, like their Damascus lines or the mirror polish stuff that's out there, or any of that kind of thing. I had no idea. I didn't know anything about steel compositions for Japanese knives. Well, I take that back. I knew that I wanted carbon steel, obviously, and I knew that a lot of traditional Japanese knives, whenever I bought this, I knew that they were a lot of times carbon steel. But yeah, when I saw this, it was in my price range, which honestly, the way it looked and the price that it was my deciding factor at the time. Which I think a lot of people, when they're getting their first Japanese knife, it probably has something to do with it. Not everybody. I'm sure some people have, you know, all the money that they possibly could want, and can go and throw it at a knife. And there's some here that I need to get, but not me. I was on a budget. It was kind of the fun money budget that I kind of keep under the radar. So it's the money that I can spend when and where I want, kind of thing. And I didn't have very much at the time, so and again, I didn't know anything about this at the time, but now looking at it, looking down the actual spine, and it's super straight. The spine is actually, it's chamfered. The choil is not bad. It does have a little roughness back here. It's not bad, but it's not sharp. And I didn't know about any of that stuff back then. But for 80, well, I say back then, this wasn't that long ago, but so I'm talking like it was 20 years ago or something. But for yeah, 83 bucks or whatever, yeah, this is a lot of knife. I'm kind of sad that Tojiro discontinued this line. At least I'm pretty sure they discontinued it. I don't see them anywhere anymore. You might be able to buy like old stock, but I've not seen a Tojiro ITK anywhere. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, because number one, if I'm wrong, I'm going to buy some more. I bought a whole set of the Tojiro ITKs. I got a Yanagaba, I've got the Gyoto Santoku. Maybe I don't have the whole set because I don't have a Nakari and I don't have a Petty. Okay, I have several of the ITK line knives. Yeah, having a whole set would indicate, I guess, that you have more than that. Just this very back part back here I'm not getting for some reason. Let me put a little pressure on it. So, again, this is not a sharpening tutorial video, but what I am doing is I'm putting the normal lightish pressure that I would normally use when sharpening. But back here I'm applying quite a bit more. And I don't know why. It's almost as if I'm not making contact on the back of the stone. Or, I'm sorry, the heel of the knife. So I'm going to kind of, what I'll do sometimes when that happens, just to test, is I'll lay the knife, get the angle that I would normally set, and then I'll kind of rock it backwards a little bit and I'll put pressure directly on that spot and see if I can get a burr. If I can, that tells me that either the stone's a little warped or maybe the blade has a little warp in it. See, yeah, I got a burr. Kind of had a little one to begin with, but yeah, I think we're fine. We got a good burr through the whole thing. Another thing I'm going to do, guys, on my giveaways and just at random, I make my own board and knife wax. It's just, you know, it's just a hard paste wax, and what it's designed to do is protect your knife, protects your handles. I also put it down in here where the tang goes into the wood. That way that when you get water up in there, it doesn't get in there and rust. That's a good tip. If nobody's ever done that before, I recommend that highly, because if water gets down in those little holes and crevices where the tang goes in, some of them are sealed with like epoxies and glues and stuff. Some of them aren't. This one wasn't. It's a good idea to shove a little of that wax down in there. All right, we're going to switch to the other side now. My video seems to be a little funny right now. I'm going to double check something here, guys. I'm going to pause this video. Could be download and update, which I surely hope it's not. Hell, I may not even pause it because this is just going to take me a second. It is at 100% CPU. Oh, good Lord. Microsoft Office. Why you do this? Okay. That's probably a little better anyway. Okay. Let's try this again, huh? That's a good sound. You can just hear how, you know, it sounds like a piece of glass almost. I believe, if I'm not wrong, that the Arashiyamas use some natural stone the same way that Morihei does. So mixed in with the abrasive is some natural stone fragments. Not fragments, but dust, I guess. Ground up natural stone. Forgot to check my bevel. Man, this thing is so long, it's you gotta step backwards whenever you get up here towards the tip. Check this bevel real fast, make sure we look good. And we'll keep going. I like to keep that bevel about the same that they grind it at the factory, so it's not some massive bevel, kind of like, you know, like on these things where, I know this is going to be a dramatic example, but you know, you got your super large bevel there. That's a chisel grind on a Tonto blade, but I've had some knives come in before that I've done for people that they've tried to grind it themselves, and they've got one about as big as that pocket knife's on there. Just massive. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that I try to avoid that personally, and it doesn't hurt anything. It's just a lot of surface, you know, a lot of surface area. You may have seen in the beginning of the video or noticed that I'm wearing glasses. So, one, I'm getting older, but I suffer from something called ocular histoplasmosis. It's an infection that you get from breathing in a fungus spore that's created after birds or chickens crap on the ground, and then it like molds or whatever, however the fungus forms in that stuff. and then gets in the air when the soil gets disturbed. Whether you're outside digging, like in a garden, or you go into a chicken coop if you live like on or near a farm, or you know, any of that kind of stuff. You go mushroom hunting, or if you go golden, like, you know, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I don't know how I got it because I don't do any of that. At least I didn't used to. But I always tell my dad it's because he made me pull weeds as a kid. Anyway, but what it does is in most cases it gets in your lungs. You, as the carrier or the person that gets it, feel as if you have gotten a cold, maybe like a cough, not like the flu or anything, but like, you know, just a regular old common cold. And in rare cases, and when I say rare, I don't know how rare it is, but they say rare cases, what it does is it travels to your retinas, and it causes scarring near the macula, and then that scarring, of course, builds up around the ocular nerve and around the macula, and that scar tissue builds, and then the blood vessels bust, and then it builds and busts, and so basically you're getting internal bleeding in your eye, and eventually that scar tissue covers the macula. So in my right eye, I don't have central vision. I've got peripheral, but no central. It makes certain things difficult. Anyway, my right eye, which is the eye that got the histoplasmosis, is my dominant eye. And as I'm getting older, of course, I'm losing my vision. You know, it's getting blurry. And my left eye has to work overtime to make up for what I can't see in the central vision. It doesn't seem like anything's wrong because I've gotten used to it. And it looks like I'm, you know, I can see everything just fine, like if I'm looking at somebody. But when my eyes get tired, they get kind of wavy, and seeing this kind of stuff gets difficult. It's a long explanation, I know, but I got sidetracked feeling a burr and stuff. But yeah, if you're ever interested, look it up. It's kind of interesting because in the area where I live, it's called the histo belt. I didn't even know it was a thing. Apparently a lot of people have it. I didn't know, of course, until I got it. And why would I? It's not like I'm out there looking up ocular issues. I don't know if you guys can see that, but yeah, you sure can. See that burr? And I love white number 1, or number 2, I mean. It hangs onto that burr, and you can see it pretty good. I'm sure it's also because of the massive quantities of light that I have shining on the area. But of course, that's the folded over burr. I don't know, I think it broke off right there. I can feel a pretty good burr. Yeah, I'm gonna double check it under my little microscope, which I did get a new microscope today because I want to show you guys like close-up shots, just to give you an idea of what the scratch patterns and stuff looks like. So I'm gonna add that to my videos. For those of you that have missed it, I have given away a couple of knives now. One of them was just kind of a random pop-up kind of giveaway. I'm going to do it again. And like I said, at 500 subs, I'm going to give away a knife and some stones. But back to that wax stuff, I'm going to give away that with everything I give away. So if you guys are interested in that stuff, I will also be labeling it and put it up for sale in a merch store. Super cheap. It's not like I'm trying to get rich. It'll just be cost of materials, basically. But it's food grade safe wax. And like I said, it will protect. Let me get this out of the way. It will protect your knives. It'll protect your boards. It's good for you know, for boards and whatnot. I'll have it available in 1/2 ounce, 1 ounce, and 2 ounce little jars. I use it for everything. You can even use it on your skin if you got dry skin. I did it this morning. All right, so we're going to do edge leading strokes. We're going to get rid of this burr. Let's see if we can get it to stay on the stone here. Oop, this is such a long knife. I ran out of room. I love this thing. Okay, I don't see the burr there. We'll probably see it going this way. No, oh yeah, I can feel it though. Yeah, you won't be able to see that, but I can see the actual pieces of metal right there. You want to make sure you get that off your stone, because number one, you don't want to run that into your edge. You don't want to gouge it into your stone whenever you're running over it. That would not be a good day. It's not that you can't fix those things, so it's not the end of the world if you do. It's just, you know, better to not have to cause more work for yourself. I shook the camera there and I apologize. This cord is right there. Let me move that. Okay. A lot of noise, a lot of shaking, and I apologize. We'll have to reroute some wires for next time. Well, I won't always do a knife that's this big, so I like to do 5 strokes. Again, edge leading. We're just essentially removing the burr. That's all we're doing here. And I've pretty much removed it already, but I like to kind of make sure that edge is nice and set. And being that we're on the 1000 grit stone, what I'll do is some edge trailing strokes, some stropping strokes. Oh, I got a little funny for you guys too while I'm doing this. I didn't pay attention the other day when I ordered a piece of leather, kangaroo leather for a strop. So I got some, I'm going to do some knife, hand knife, pocket knife sharpening stuff. And I already do, but I wanted some different stones. I have some bigger ones. I have some smaller stones. Like I said, I made some stones, but I got one of these Veneve greater dog stones, right? And what I do, I just hold it in my hand. And I could, you know, you could do a big knife too, but I just do it like that. I got some of these. This is a Hapstone Start. This is a CBN 500 grit stone there. Good stone. Same thing. Hold it. And then I wasn't paying attention, and it looked like it was a special for Christmas. And it was kangaroo leather, and it was like, I thought it said 8 inches, to be honest, 6 or 8 inches long, but I thought it was 2 to 3 inches wide. So I go to get it, and this is what ended up showing up. I put it on this piece of wood just for literally this little 4x1 freaking piece of kangaroo leather. How crazy and pathetic is that? Oh, God. Oh, well. Make the best of it. It'd be great for hand knives, but I was going to make a big size strop for kitchen knives, but I didn't. I think we're good here. I do feel the burr is indeed gone. Because I didn't say it at first, you want to make sure you do that at the same angle you were sharpening with. Very light pressure. Same thing with the stropping strokes. We'll just go full length strokes here. Same angle you were sharpening at. I do it about 5 times. Once per side. But for 5 times. So back to the whole Christmas thing, because I started that and trailed off on something else. Like, yeah, what are you guys doing? How many of you have already done Christmas? I know some people do it early, and they'll like take vacation on Christmas, because hardly anybody's out traveling then. It's actually kind of smart, especially going to areas that are normally congested. They shouldn't be during Christmas time, at least not as much. And how many of you guys go to like a bunch of in-laws places? We try to keep it to, you know, 1 or 2 places max. That way you're just not overstressed and tired and all that stuff. Oh, let's hope I didn't ding that edge. I don't mind going to my in-laws. I get along with them pretty well. I'm going to clean the stone with our Tojiro Rust Eraser. We're going to splash ourselves real good with the water. Go ahead and dip it for a rinse, and we'll go for a Rockstar 2000 grit. I'll be right back. I did get a new knife yesterday. I'll show you guys. It's a inexpensive knife. Oh, and I did get another stone too. I got this Sun Tiger, which is the same company that makes King, Matsunuaga. I don't know. Anyway, it's 220 grit. It's a great, great stone. You can tell by the box that it looks just like their King Deluxe series. Ooh, there we go. And if you look at a King Deluxe, it's exactly the same thing. It's because it's the same company, same exact deal. It's a good stone. I did it the other day. I had a chip on a knife, and man, it went to town. Took no time at all. It's very friable. So, I mean, you lose a lot of stone quick, but it's kind of supposed to. I don't know of many 220 grit stones that I haven't had that experience with. All right, on to the Rockstar 2000. It's a beautiful, beautiful stone. A lot of people argue this point, and I mean, for shits and giggles, and just for all intents and purposes, it's the Rockstar, I'm sorry, god dang it, I had Rockstar on my mind. It is the Shapton glass series without a glass backing. There's some difference, I guess, to some of them. The mesh rating, for example, like this, its mesh rating for the 2000 is different than the Stones 2000. The actual Micron rating is different. It's not off by a ton, but for the most part, it is the same exact thing. All these up to the 16,000, not including the 16,000, up to like what is it, 10,000 I think, have the WA white alumina, but I don't think that's what WA stands for. Maybe I'm wrong. But the 16,000 has a different one, and I forgot what it stood for now. But it's not the same abrasive as the lower grits. So anyway, that's just something, food for thought. If you've never used one of these are great. You can already see how much metal, well, maybe you can't. You can already see possibly how much metal this thing removes, but it's real fine. And it does it, I don't want to say it's like fast, because it's not like it's an ultra fast stone, but I mean, it's already given me a burr here. And as I've said a million times before, whenever you're messing with these higher grits, you don't get massive burrs. You get burrs, but you don't get these crazy ones like you would with a 1000. Because you're kind of getting, this is kind of like the setup to a polish. What I should have done is I should have done my green brick. It's one of my absolute favorite stones. The Naniwa Aotoishi. I'll do that after Christmas on another one. I'll do my, probably my Gyoto of the ITK line. Because they all need sharpening, so. They're not terrible right now, but they sure could use a little TLC. There was a recommendation on one of my videos earlier for a, I'm going to mess this up because I only saw the comment earlier and I don't remember, Colonux knife. Apparently it's made by the guy that was at Miyabi. Anyway, it uses Sandvik steel. That's some really good stuff. Sharpens up real nice. I also find that XR50 CR MOV15 sharpens up really nice too. It's the same thing as the DIN rating, 1.4116. They're the exact same steel, just one's the German DIN rating. And that's one of the knives I got yesterday. I mean, some of you will probably laugh when I show it to you. I only got it because I was curious at Target, so keep that in mind, right? It came from Target. it said that it was 59 to 60 HRC. I'm like, what? And I didn't care about any of the other stuff, but I thought it looked interesting. It's the Smith Brothers Schmidt Brothers, not Smith, Jet Black series. It's also, they don't tell you. They just say German stainless steel, but it is the XR50, CRMOV 15, and they actually on their site say DIN 1.4116. But I'll show you, I haven't touched this knife yet. I don't know if you can see this. I'll just push this through. Oops, come here, you. I mean, she is pretty damn sharp out of the box. Doesn't mean I'm gonna not sharpen it, but anyway. So yeah, it gets a lot of hate online, and whatever. I guess they've got a lot of crap series and stuff. I simply bought it just to see if it was actually 59 HRC. I don't know yet. I'm gonna test it though. All right, do we have a small little bear? Hello, little bear. I'm gonna give it one more pass, and we're gonna switch to the other side. Anyway, the one with the Miyabi guy. If you ever heard of those, let me know. I'm gonna look them up. I'll buy a couple just to give them a shot. What I'll probably do is buy them up, try them out, give them away as a drawing giveaway or a random pop-up giveaway or something. All right. Like I said, it won't be a very large burr. It'll be just a small little guy. Yeah, that's very even all the way through, except for right there. There's not much of anything. And again, I think it's to do with the grind. Once I put a focus on it, it's just fine. All right, swap sides. Oh my God, I have to stop doing that. That's the second time I've clinked it. Oh my God. Jesus. Yeah, I think I hit it. I think I feel it too, so at least I know right where it's at, and I can bring it right on back. Looking at it with my little microscope guy here. Sure as shit I did. Alright, so maybe we're going to do one more pass, and then we're going to switch to the other side. Good Lord. How many of you are plagued like I am? In case you're wondering, that's filtered water. Ooh, I just about took my thumb off. I just have always used filtered water with my Shaptons. I don't know. I'm a freak of nature, I guess. I mean, I can't be that much of a freak of nature. Ivan does it, so. Anybody got any plans that they know, like, are they getting sharpening stones or anything for Christmas? From the family, from the wife? That's kind of what I do. I tell everybody to get me things like, I don't know if you've seen those whetstone holders from Bernal Cutlery. They're spring loaded, and they look really awesome. It was one of the things I asked for. So if you see one in the next video, you know that I got it. If you don't, you'll see one in an upcoming video because I'm gonna buy it. Like, I want it pretty bad. Instead of twisting all the stuff and plopping the stone in like these screw down ones that you see everywhere, you just squeeze it, put the stone in it, let go, it's spring loaded. It's got the perfect amount of pressure on it, good to go. right. Oh, so kind of a little bit of an update. That video I did about the Vigor Craft, the 1000, 3000 grit stones. So I initially said that I think that they are the Nanawa Goken line. That's the little ones meant for like curved blades and stuff. They're like, well, they're like 4 inches long, like that super teensy tiny piece of leather for a strop that I showed you. Anyway, they are not. They are, of course, Nanawa. I did discover they are the Nanawa Basic series, so they're the made in Vietnam version of Nanawa, which is still good. There's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't change the fact that they're, you know, amazing stones in Nanawa, because Nanawa oversees that whole thing, supposedly, and I wouldn't think Nanawa would lie. But yeah, they oversee the whole factory and the whole process. But it's the Basic series, and the way that I know this is if you go on Chef Knives to Go's website, they have in, gosh, I don't remember where it's at. If you do a search though for like 1K, 3K, it'll come up with that absolute set. It's the same thing, same case, the same clear case, the same stones, same grit, same color, and it talks about that it was manufactured in Vietnam, and that's where the Nanawa Basic series is made. Somebody, I think in the comments of it or somewhere, maybe it's a Reddit post, they mentioned that it was a Nanawa Basic set as well, which confirmed my suspicions. As soon as I saw Vietnam, I knew right away, because I know that the Basic series comes out of there. Okay, I think we're good. Oh yeah. Alright, so now we'll go back to edge leading strokes. Clean that off a little bit. Okay. Such a smooth stone. It dishes slow, sharpens smooth. This is one of the ones that I've pulled the burr off of and one whole piece on it before, and I could see it because it's white. Absolutely love it. One of the ways you can avoid doing this on the stone the way that I'm doing, because you don't have to do it this way, is just putting it on a leather strop, or you can do it on a cork. You can do it on a piece of balsa wood. I don't personally recommend doing that, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's more of an OCD personal thing. But like I've said in every video that I talk about it on, gosh, I need to chamfer those edges. It rips the burr off. And by doing that, you know, you can have more of a jagged edge than you would normally want. If that's what you're going for, then by all means, rip away. Yeah, I didn't chamfer that edge. That's not good. I ran this thing over it a couple times. It's mostly gone. I think the stropping strokes will get rid of it. Gosh, that's another thing. Always chamfer the edges of your stone. I got excited to use it the first time I got it. I just never did it. Gosh, I need to do this a different way. That's the most complicated thing I've ever done. You know, since we were on the subject earlier and I brought it up about pocket knives, how many of you guys sharpen pocket knives on the larger stones like this? I mean, I do too, but I hate it. If I'm being completely honest, doing it on the larger stones, I think it sucks. I always have problems. It's probably because of how I'm doing it though. I'm still doing it over this here, this setup like this. I probably need to move it to like an actual bench top or something. I've got one of those silicone mats, which is probably a better idea. Just set it down on a stone holder on one of those mats, sit on a chair at my like dining room table or something, and just go to town that way. It's probably a better idea. Part of me kind of wants to stop at that 2K. How long has this video been going? Probably a hot minute. 38 minutes, huh? You know, let's see if we need to do that. Let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and strop on our newest strop. I don't mind this strop. I like my hanging strops quite a bit more, but this is that flex cut strop. I'm gonna do 10, using a 1 micron compound. Actually, you know what? This is one of my prized knives. I know what I'm gonna do. You wouldn't think that someone would say that about a $80 knife, but I do. We're gonna use this strop. I've always threatened it. It's time to use it. Sorry about the crinkling. This is the Jende Industries Jende Nanocloth strop. It says 0.5 micron, but the strop itself is just a nanocloth, which does not have a micron rating, period. What gives it the micron rating is whenever you add a diamond emulsion to it. This is the Jende Industries 0.5 micron poly diamond emulsion. You just squirt some like in a couple of different spots and you rub it in evenly over the whole thing. You let it dry, bingo, you got a diamond strop. What's really cool about this thing is when you run the blade over the strop itself, you can adjust your angle, and whenever you know you've hit the spot that's perfect for the blade bevel, it actually has like a suction feeling. And I'm not kidding, it feels like someone put the brakes on your movement. And that is really cool. Anyway, that's the proper stropping angle. So you just run it, and right there, see how it's dragging? I mean, I'm pushing. If I move it up, it goes faster. So I'll go fast and then drag. Oh, it feels so good. Yeah, baby. I'm legit applying pressure. Whew. I'm looking at it right now. Looking at the actual edge. Like if I do that. Trying to look at it. Like it's so fine, it's hard to see even with those glasses on. I don't know how many I've done, but that should be enough. I mean, this stuff is amazing. All right, I'm gonna wipe it off. And we're gonna test on a little old piece of paper this Tojiro ITK series Kiritsuke and white number 2. Let's see if we got our razor. All right, here we go. Make sure that you guys can see. I'm barely pushing through that. Oh God, that'll give you a little bit of excitement there. We're just gonna push. Oops. Oh my God. Hey, yeah. I'm gonna do a little bonus for you. See if we can do this. I should be able to, I would think. A little paper towel action. I'm not very good at cutting paper towels. I never have been, but we'll just see what happens, huh? I mean, I would say that might do the trick. Yeah. The results don't lie, baby. So, Tojiro ITK series. Kurouchi finish. I don't know how good that's going to show up on that camera. Probably not very good. Come back over here. ITK series. Shirogami number 2. Buffalo horn ferrule. Just a standard wood handle, whatever wood they use. It's kind of got a D shape to it. Yeah, she's a beaut. I don't have to go to the 5,000. It's not necessary. I mean, you saw it yourselves. Paper towel sharp. I even dung? Yeah, I dunged it. Dinged the blade on the bottom of my freaking drill press bench here. Yeah, she's got a good little shine. That's only up to the Shapton Shapton Rockstar 2K. So Arashiyama 1000 grit, Shapton Rockstar 2000 grit. If I go higher, she's just gonna get more and more refined, and I might do that. So 83 bucks. What do you think? Beats that Hatsu Kokoro? I do believe so. This was the king of cheap, if you ask me. There's other ones, I'm sure, that are better in the same price range. But yeah, I'm not going to complain because I've got that one. Appreciate you guys watching. Hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. I'm going to make a promise to you. The next video, whenever I do one after Christmas, there will be a giveaway. It's just going to be a random one, so make sure that you comment. I'm not even asking you to like and subscribe, but I need you to comment. It's hard for me to just see that you're subscribed. That is one thing that you have to be. It's not hard for me to see that you're just subscribed, but it's hard for me to go through and list everyone that is subscribed. So make sure you're a sub. Make sure you comment. When you comment, you'll be entered into a drawing for a knife giveaway. So I appreciate you guys. More details soon. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays, and we'll see you soon.